So you've decided you're ready to make a move abroad. The only problem is you can't figure out what country to move to. Well, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to give you 3 pointers that will help you to reduce the overwhelm and get some clarity around which country is right for you. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so that each time I upload a video about moving abroad, life in France, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms, you will be notified. My name is Patricia Brooks, and in 2018, I quit my job and moved to the south of France, to a city that I had not heard of 2 years prior. And when people ask me how I decided on France and then the region that I'm living in now, I found it difficult to answer because I thought I kind of knew. But that wasn't really true. There were 3 things I did, and those are the 3 things that I'm going to share with you right now. So number 1 was I made a decision. All right. So you might be questioning, well, make a decision. That's what I'm trying to do. Yes. You should make a decision on what you want to experience in your new life in your new country. So for me, I knew I wanted to become fluent in French. I knew I wanted to have enough challenges to help me with my personal growth and development. And I knew I wanted it to be not too cold. Those were some of the things I wanted to experience. And that first one, becoming fluent in French, kind of narrowed down the countries that I could move to because it needed to be French speaking. And so I could have moved to Canada. I could have moved to parts of Belgium or parts of Switzerland, or even some countries in Africa. And I even considered moving to Canada. I'd visited Canada 4 or 5 times before I moved to France, and I'd fallen in love with Quebec City, Canada. But my last trip there was in November, and it was pretty cold. And I thought to myself, you're not going to be able to handle these Canadian winters. And so I crossed Canada off my list. In 2015, I went to France for the first time and thought to myself, yeah, France is for me, but I just had to find the location, the town. So that's what I did. I decided on what I wanted to experience, and that helped to narrow down my focus. So what you want to experience in your new life, in your new country, is definitely going to be different from what I wanted to experience. Perhaps you like water sports. You want to surf or maybe go snorkeling a lot. Well, that will help you to cross off all of those landlocked countries, right? Because that's not going to help you experience what you want to experience. Or perhaps you want to have the experience of being able to come back to where you're currently located so that you can visit family and friends more frequently or get back quickly in case of an emergency. And so perhaps you want to make sure that the plane flight back is no more than 6 hours. Well, that will help you to get a radius of countries that you could move to, right? And so in that way, you're getting clarity. In that way, you are getting rid of the noise of all those other countries that don't meet that criteria. What is the number 1 thing that you want to experience in your new life abroad? Comment below. So, number 1 is decide on what you want to experience. Number 2 is something that is really not that obvious, but is vital in moving this forward. And that is to get in touch with what you believe at a subconscious level. We can tell ourselves that we want certain things in our minds. I want to move abroad. But deep down in our hearts, in that subconscious mind, we doubt our ability to pull it off, right? We might be telling ourselves, who am I fooling? In our heads, we're like, yeah, I'm moving abroad. One day I'm going to move abroad. In our hearts, it's like, yeah, but how are you going to do that? You've never done it before. Or you might even believe that you don't deserve to live in the country that makes you happiest. And in this way, this creates a disconnect, a discord between your head and your heart. And the fact of the matter is your heart or your subconscious mind always wins out. And you take action based on that. So if you're out of alignment in this way, it's important to work on your belief system. And there are so many books out there and so many videos out there that you can use in order to get into alignment, to increase your belief in yourself, increase your belief in the fact that you deserve to live and be happy where you want to be. And my second book is one of those. It's called Live a Bold Life, Your 30-Day Mission to a Fearless Future. And in it, you create your own positive affirmations that help you to move forward. So once you've gotten into alignment, head and your heart into alignment, you're going to stop procrastinating. You're going to be able to do number one which is decide on what you want to experience, right? And do number three, which I'm about to get to, all right? Number three is to do your own research. Now, the internet is a tool that has a lot of information out there and a lot of opinions. And if you are relying on what other people are experiencing or want to experience, then you might get confused and it might be difficult to make the decision. That throws more noise into the equation. So do your own research. And I say this to say that your own research is doing a scouting trip, right? As you've narrowed down your countries, you're like, oh, these 2 countries are the ones that I'm thinking about. I want to go on a scouting trip. Well, go on that scouting trip and make sure it's long enough for you to get a feel for what it might be like to live there. Rent an apartment, an Airbnb, or a vacation rental by owner. And so you have to go grocery shopping and cook and get a sense of what it's like. I know for me, doing this was so vital because I fell in love with the city of Perpignan. It was an ugly day, a chilly day in May, but I just felt completely free there. And I knew I had found my new home. So being on the ground and getting a sense of how you feel when you're there is really important. Now, I will say there are some people who have moved to a foreign country sight unseen and are loving it. I'm not one of those people, so that's not my suggestion to you. Another way that you can do your own research is to read newspapers from that country. I know in France there are newspapers that are written in English, but are reporting on the French news as it's happening. So you can get a sense of what the politics are like or how they handle emergencies or crises. And so that's important information so that you know if that's in alignment with what you want to experience. All right. And then once you have kind of picked the country or 1 or 2 countries that you're interested in, then you might want to join these expat groups that are focused on those countries because they're more like-minded people. They already are interested in that country. So they're not going to say, oh, why do you want to go to that country? And kind of discourage you. They're not going to do that. So then is where I think the internet can be helpful. And you can also, watch YouTube videos, but you're firm in your belief about where you want to go. You're firm in your belief about what you want to experience. And you are less likely to be swayed or confused in deciding on what country is best for you. Now, if you are interested in a resource that will help you work through some of these considerations, some of the things that you might want to experience, I have a worksheet completely free that you can download. And I'm going to put a link in the description below to that tool so that you can use that as you are doing number 1 in this process, which is deciding on what you want to experience. So that is it. Those are the 3 tips on helping you to get clarity and reduce the overwhelm in picking a country. Decide on what you want to experience, get in alignment with your head and your heart, and do your own research. That's all I have for you today. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.